What did we find out from the FA Cup game against Millwall? Well, lots of fans are saying the second string just aren't good enough. Jake says, I could care less about the FA Cup game, but let's hope we don't get any injuries because that team we played was crap. Coming up then on week 28, where White's Walk, we're talking about the FA Cup game and the second string disappointments who just let the side down. We're looking back at the transfer window that wasn't for Leeds and should it have been. And we're also discussing the worst ever Leeds United manager stayed towards the end of the video for that. And with Valentine's Day coming up, we're asking Jacob how he fell in love with Leeds and share your stories with us as well. Welcome back to 20 minutes of Leeds chat. Let's jump straight into the FA Cup debate then, shall we? First of all, before we get there, the Coventry game, we need to just give a quick shout out to Melier, don't we? Because we've given him a little bit of stick on this channel. So let's give him his dues because that Coventry game, he made some amazing saves, Jacob. And as Julian says here, Melier redemption. And thank you, Melier, for all 3 points. So before we get into Cardiff, let's just give him some flowers, shall we, Jacob?
Oh, he was superb. Like, absolute. Like, honestly, that first save from Sims, unreal. So, like, glad for him as well. Like, what that's going to do for his confidence now. Obviously, he didn't play against Millwall yesterday, but what that's going to do for his confidence, I think it's something like we haven't even conceded a goal in 6 games in the Championship, 5 or 6 games. So, yeah, really, really impressed. And, that was just a complete performance and another one that we probably could have scored a few more in, but it's all about the 3 points at this stage of the season.
Absolutely. And are you bothered about going out the cup genuinely? Would you like to go on a bit further, or do you care absolutely not one jot?
A bit of both, to be fair. For me personally, it'll be looking at the draw, and then if we pulled like United away or something like that. For me personally, if I could like get to a game like that, it would be brilliant. But hopefully we'll be there next season anyway. But like full priority is just getting promoted. That has to be the main priority this season. Would be great for a cup run, but not really too bothered.
Okay. All right, let's get into the title then of who let us down in this second string. First of all, there was one name coming up more than any other, which was, as Lee says there, Quilla Foggy Wart. Well, yeah, I'm not going to go pronounce the WTF. Joseph, who were offered 10 million, we should have snapped it up. And Schmidt, he says, well, I think that argument is over now. And then people came back to that and said, well, actually, Schmidt was actually fine. It was Ampadu, Noto, Joseph that were very poor. Who for you, Jacob, stood out and let the side down for you?
Yeah, Guiavogi, he just doesn't look up to standard, really. I mean, he was always brought in as a backup, so fair enough. But even against Harrogate, he struggled. I think it's more kind of like a morale boost for the team, someone to have in the dressing room. But yeah, or somebody to bring on, just to see a game out. But he wasn't good yesterday. Like Ampadu fluffed his lines a little bit at the back. Could have cost us another goal. But to be fair, it was like, I'm not going to say unlucky because credit to Millwall, they had a game plan and it worked. But on another day, Pascal Stroke's penalty goes in. A few of our other chances. Sam Chambers, I thought, had a really good game and he had a few chances. But yeah, Guiavogi was not up to standard whatsoever. And I thought Schmidt was all right. Schmidt did enough for me. But he's never really going to start over Junior Firpo back in the team now.
Yeah. There's other tweets which we won't read them all out, but not complimentary about Joseph. Luke was saying, are we seeing why the majority of these players only get 20-minute cameos? Joseph has the touch of a newborn elephant. Schmidt looked average. Darlow was plenty worse than Melier. And Joshua's a yard or two off the pace. Just on Joseph there, we'll come back to Darlow in a second. Are Leeds fans getting to the point now where they're realising that perhaps, he isn't the man to lead the line. And he's definitely not going to be Premier League quality, isn't he? Should you go up?
Yeah, it's a difficult one with him because, I mean, like that tweet said, 20-minute cameos. That's what he's excelled in this season, is coming on and then obviously getting a few goals and popping up here and there, like his press from the front. But with Pirro now scoring, there's no way Joseph is going to start another game for me unless there's an injury or, a tactical like tweak or something, Pirro's got to be the man to stay up front. And he's closing down on Borja Sainz now on that golden boot.
Yeah. And Darlow, just on that one. So people have cried out, start Darlow when Melié's made mistakes. But how did he do for you in the Millwall game?
I mean, only faced like 2-3 shots on target, and obviously 2 of them went in. The first one is really unlucky, like deflection. Seen it late, couldn't really do much about it. But the second one for me, I don't really know. Maybe he's like seen it late, but it's at his near post. It's still from quite, it's not exactly close range. Probably could have done a bit better, but I thought, bar that, didn't really have much to do. But it's got to be stick with Meslier now. I know he gets loads of criticism, but you look at his performance in midweek last week, and like he's keeping clean sheets and team are playing well. So just stick with him now. You don't want to change it up too much.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right then. Let's have a look at a couple more. LUFC Chef says, don't forget Noto, Rama. To be honest, you missed a fair news off your list. They were dire. None of them should be starting games. I can't believe we're saying that about Noto. Michael says it's a poor team selection. Joseph was poor and lazy. Schmidt was poor. Noto was poor. Byron poor. You expect better from players who should be pushing for the first team. Disappointing day all round. Finally, just on Noto, he hasn't been given starts by Fark, and some fans have said, I don't understand why. Do you think more fans now understand why, given watching him yesterday?
Yeah, I think so. I just think with Dan James and Solomon being so good recently, and like the team on form, you can't drop them. And especially like if you give Nonto the start, you expect him to perform, and if he's not performing to that standard, then rightly drop him. Obviously he got his goal against Cardiff, but that was coming on as a substitute. It wasn't starting the game. And he's always going to be one of those players that will pop up, when you need him most. He's still a brilliant player, still young. But yeah, I just don't see how he's going to get in the team when we're playing how we're playing. And obviously, when he was given his chance yesterday, didn't really provide much.
Let's leave the FA Cup game alone there. Then we'll see, obviously, who Millwall will draw in the draw. But the focus now is on the remaining 15 or so games of the down to the wire Championship season. Now, Burnley strengthened in the transfer window, Jacob, of course, by bringing in Marcus Edwards. We know Lefay went to Sunderland. We know about Sheffield United going and grabbing Burton Diaz and Cannon and Hamza Chowdhury as well from Leicester. So all three of the teams fighting strengthened and brought in quality during the window. Why didn't you?
Really good question. And, it's been on my mind, and I'm sure other Leeds fans as well. But to be fair, like, we're top of the league with the squad that we've got. I said it previously, we don't really want to change too much. I get maybe bringing in another striker who will go ahead of Mateo Joseph and, provide healthy competition with Joel Pirro and perhaps a number 10. But our squad for the division is, it's so good. I feel that we can definitely get promoted with this team, with the depth we have even. Like our midfield, all of our midfielders are back fit now. Centre backs. But yeah, I was a bit disappointed, but I didn't really know who we could have brung in. No names really jumped out to me. And obviously you've got to think financial fair play wise and all these other things. So yeah, a weird one. Really weird we didn't bring anybody in, really, not even a loan or anything.
Yeah, it's the first time a team at the top of the Championship hasn't made any signings in the January transfer window. Let's hope it doesn't come back to bite you. Because an injury to Pirro or
exactly.
an injury to a goalkeeper or the left back and right backs leaves you short, doesn't it? And we've seen how good the second string are against Millwall. Right, in the last couple of weeks, then Jacob has been putting together the worst ever Leeds 11. This is how far we've got so far. Thank you for those that commented and emailed in with suggestions as well. We've got, it's a horrible side. This is going back some players even before probably you were born, Jacob, in here as well. But yeah, I'm not sure Geldhard. We can put Geldhard in there, but that's probably a
No, I
little
was
bit.
going to say I was struggling for a striker, and I thought
Yeah, I know Hull fans
I was
won't have
basically
any on
going
him.
off. Yeah, basically going off like last season and this
Yeah, that's
this
fair
start of the season. Like he wasn't really
enough.
getting played much,
Right.
but
So, as a
obviously,
Leeds,
yeah, no
as a
disrespect to
Leeds,
him.
as a Leeds fan watching this, can you help us out? First of all, can you correct this? Who are the worst ever strikers, midfielders that you've seen play for Leeds? And drop in the comments there. Also, we're looking for the worst ever Leeds manager now that's going to lead this side and the captain of the side as well. So, Jacob, who's the worst player in that list that should be the captain, first of all?
God, I don't think Augustin is much of a captain, but definitely the
We're not
worst
looking for
player for me.
leadership qualities here. We're
No,
looking for
I
the
just
worst one.
yeah, Augustin. I'm going to give it to him.
Okay,
Yeah,
all right, Captain
yeah.
Augustin, and worst ever Leeds manager now. Then, the last
Oof.
25 years or so.
I mean, we've had quite a few. A few names sprung to mind. I'm gonna give Jesse Marsh a bit of a break because he did manage to keep us up. But still, obviously that second season wasn't the best. But I'm gonna go with Javi Gracia, who came in to replace him, who was absolutely shocking. I thought that first half against Crystal Palace, that first 30 minutes until Mark Gay scored the equaliser was looking like we're going to win that game and hopefully stay up. But 5-1 loss, 6-1 loss to Liverpool. It was just awful, just awful. I mean, what a rubbish appointment that was. So, going to give it to him, and I won't even mention Sam Allardyce because I don't think that's fair if we put him in.
I don't think it's fair either. He
No,
didn't really have much to work with, did he, as
no.
well? Right, let us know if you disagree with that as well. And finally, it's Valentine's Day, of course, then this week. So we're asking all our teams across the channels how they first fell in love with Leeds. Jacob, share your love story with Leeds. What age were you, and how did you get into this club?
Yeah, it's probably about 10 years ago now. I was trying to count before I came on. Probably about 10, 11 years ago. And we played Blackburn at home on a Thursday night. And my dad took me. I was sat in the family stand, and like the attendance was poor, nobody really there. I remember it. Jordan Rhodes. This was my first like Leeds game at Ellen Road. Jordan Rhodes ran through and scored within like 10 seconds for Blackburn, and they won 2-0. But yeah, I just thought, you've got to stick with it now. This is my team. It's my dad's team. Granddad's team. And like what a journey it's been. Went to second game, the Marcelo Bielsa era then, 2019, and then from then on been going ever since, more regularly each season. Got to see Rafinha live and stuff, so that was brilliant. And obviously the relegation, but you got to stick by him forever.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah, you can't.
yeah,
You can
no,
divorce your wife. You
no,
can divorce your wife and your girlfriend, but you can't divorce your football team.
yeah, yeah.
Absolutely
And
not.
it's some of
Right.
it's been great to watch the atmospheres this year. I mean, our atmosphere and our support wherever we go is fantastic. So yeah, but I'll never forget that first game.
Okay.
Bloody hell. Jordan
Right.
Rhodes.
Let us know then about this worst ever Leeds 11. What have we got wrong? Next week, we're looking at the worst ever Leeds kit, and we're delighted that Jacob's modelling possibly a contender for that for
One of
us
them.
this evening.
Yeah.
So join us for that next week. All right, Jacob, big week for you then. Of course, this week away to Watford, and then next week we'll talk about home to Sunderland as well, which is another Monday night game for you. So join us for that next week. Thank you very much for watching. Do drop us a like and drop us a subscribe. We'll see you in 7 days' time.